do it early, because the later the fight goes, the more dangerous Dan will become.
Taking the words right out of my mouth.
You know, we said earlier that the middleweight division is stacked. We forgot to mention these two guys. We got Quentin Jackson. We got the other Nogueira in Monotoro. We got Dan Henderson and Arona, two of the top dogs in the division. This night has been stacked with middleweight talent. And there's a low kick and answered by a right hand by Henderson. The right hand again. And Arona shooting in. And they're rolling now.
Oh, beautiful escape. And in the guard.
Wow, a lot of action there. Arona on top. High base. Closed guard by Dan Henderson on the bottom.
Yeah, this is where Arona exactly wants to be. Now let's see if he's going to try to pass that guard. Because right from here, there's not a lot of damage you can do.
There's your famous crossface, boss.
Yes, I love the crossface. It's not all the way. He's got to get the tape. Oh, he's doing a perfect job. Leaning on the throat can't do much, but it can frustrate your opponent. And that's exactly what you want in a fight.
You want to create diversion, you also want to frustrate, and you want to create pressure on that throat too if he'll give you the throat. But Dan kept his chin down, so it wasn't as much of a factor.
Yeah, plus also if he turns his head to the right or to the left, the pressure of the throat will be off, so it's very easy to defend. This fight could be a pretty fast startup, I think. There's already a warning, I think. Oh, there we go, here we go.
Okay, Dan getting that right leg there, and he goes for the half guard, off through the half guard. He kind of gave it away. Actually, Arona kind of passed once Dan got that half butterfly.
Yeah, he's got to watch out now, because Arona is the type of guy who can pass this half guard also and goes straight to the mount or maybe even side mount.
And look at Arona's left foot.
Yep.
Starting to work on that pass already.
Yeah, one little mistake from Dan here and he's going to slip out.
Because I don't know that Dan wants to try and escape out the back door by turning his back if he gets mounted, because Arona can get the hooks in. And that would be a tough position to escape from. But Dan has assured us that he is not afraid of his submissions, meaning Arona's submissions.
Yeah, and it's very logical, because he, like he said before, he's been in so many fights with so many good fighters and nobody ever submitted him. So I don't think Arona is going to do it either, but you never know. Arona is doing a good job. Oh, here we go.
He gets the mount, and Dan moves to escape it. Dan gets, he looks like he got guard. He got a butterfly guard here, and look for that sweep, but Arona tried to pass that guard again. He's trying to step over that left foot as he did earlier, and Dan's got the leg grapevine again. We're going to have to see a little more variety here, otherwise the crowd will become restless, because it's already formed into sort of a pattern.
Yeah, but one of them is going to make a mistake. If Dan makes one mistake, he's going to go to side mount, Arona is going to go to the side mount, and then it could be a dangerous fight. But once Arona is going to go for submissions, that leaves him probably also open. So then maybe Dan can escape the situation.
Well, I had said this before, and in some ways, Dan Henderson is like the comeback kid, because he was behind when he fought Vanderlei Silva. Now Dan pulling over. Beautiful. That was excellent reversal by Dan Henderson. Arona on the bottom for the first time in the fight. Dangerous Dan on top.
You got to make sure that Arona is not going to pull guard. That's one thing that he really has to watch out for.
Well, Arona's already got guard.
No, he's got the half guard.
Oh, you are absolutely right.
Yeah, the camera angle, but I could see it from here. I was.
You know, boss, as I said before, when Dan Henderson fought Vanderlei, he was in trouble early, but he made a huge comeback. When he fought Ninja, he was in big trouble early, and then he made another huge comeback. Oh, guillotine choke from the mount. No, from the half guard, and it's creating pressure. And there's the knee.
That's what he has to do. From this position now, he has to go to total side mount. That's what he should try to do, because he's frustrating him with the guillotine. Maybe, there we go. Let me see.
Oh, throw that knee now. There's another one. Back on their feet, folks. Yes, excellent.
Like we said, this is going to be a super fight.
Oh, yes.
And it has been.
And Dan charging in. Going to move straight back.
Yeah, he's got his head a little bit too much up, his chin a little bit too high up, Arona, so he's got to watch out for that.
Arona coming in with that left inside kick, in on right front kick. And Arona trying to get for a body lock, but they've got an over-under clinch now.
Nice takedown.
Nice takedown by Dan Henderson in the side mount. Arona has got to get guard here because there's the, chopping away Dan Henderson with the right hand, boss.
Yep, he's going to do the knees, same thing like he did to Akira Soji and to all the other guys. He's going to rain down knees. And you better believe that he's in a good control as the good wrestler he is.
Well, one thing I like, and I saw this with Quentin Jackson, is that the fighters now in side mount are creating a new position where they lay on their sides and throw like a side knee directly down onto the head.
Yeah, it looks like almost like the ties.
Look at that, look at that. He chopped the arm with the leg. He chopped the arm, he's pounding away.
Wow.
And Arona using his strength there, and Jan, whoa, what a punch! Whoa!
This is a great fight.
Man, it looked like Arona was in trouble, and he popped Henderson, and Henderson fell back into the guard. But Henderson was really in control there.
Yeah, that was too bad for Henderson to give this up, because that's the best position you can probably have in a fight. But hey, he was in this position also at the beginning of the fight, so he will maybe get it again.
But you have to give kudos to Arona, who escaped. And there he goes, and he jumps almost into the side mount, and Henderson getting back under.
Armbar looks like he's going to go for Kimura, do you think?
Don't know.
He's grabbing his wrist. We can't see it from here, but he's having it. Dan Henderson has. Okay, there's something. Okay, maybe they're going to restart. Yes, and restart in the center of the ring.
Okay, that's nice. You know, Henderson said that Arona won't be afraid of Henderson's stand-up until he gets hit a few times. Well, Arona really likes this fight on the ground, and he's tried. He doesn't want to stand up with Dan.
Yeah, one thing for sure is that Arona's kicks are real good.
Yeah.
Very powerful kicks. That front kick it's also a very powerful weapon, especially later on in the fight. If the people get tired and you get a front kick to your solar plexus, it can take a lot of air out.
Yeah, because he did that good left kick and the good right front kick, as you said, and it set up the distance, and he closed it so quickly. And then he got the lock, and actually Dan got the takedown, but then it was Arona who did the work on the bottom. Oh! Henderson over an armbar now. Henderson side mounted by Arona.
Now see if Arona is going to do the same thing that Dan did to him, raining knees, or is he going to go for a submission? What do you say?
Well, I don't know. With 3 minutes left, there was that side choke that Mario Sperry, his teammate, threw on both chances, but I don't think that Dan's going to fall for that.
I don't think so either. And it's
he has to move.
He's going for the mount.
Got the mount, and Dan trying to scoot out. Dan Henderson is mounted by Ricardo Arona presently. Now we'll see if Arona can break loose of the grip of Dan Henderson and land some significant punches by sitting up.
Yeah, the thing is with the mount, if you don't have the underhooks and you sit up in the mount, it's an easy to escape situation. If you know how to escape the mount, then we'll know. So I don't think that's going to be a big problem. See, once he's going to pull himself out, then he's going to try to escape. Like he did before, that's how he reversed him the first time.
Well, Arona has made a real comeback and made this fight actually it's a really close round.
Yeah, now it's he did a good job also here with the punch one. Here we go!
Oh, what a reversal by Henderson, and Arona just jumps right back on top of him.
Beautiful. This is technique, ladies and gentlemen at home. The highest level right here. Make one mistake, you're going to be turned.
I like those elbows to the thigh there by Henderson. Entirely legal in Pride Fighting Championships. Elbows are not legal to the head in Pride. Either are headbutts. Either are groin strikes. Either is biting or eye gouging. This is a sport, folks. We're moving into the mainstream now. Mixed martial arts is going to be the sport of the future, and it's the sport of the present here in Japan because we got a sold-out house here at the Yokohama Arena. Stephen Quadros, I am the fight professor alongside my broadcast partner. His name, El Guapo.
El Guapo. So that Arona, here, Dan is trying again, he's got it!
That was sweet!
And there's that front kick again. Oh, and now 1 minute left. What can Dan do in 1 minute? He's in the guard.
He's in the guard.
So that's going to be difficult.
It's going to be really difficult because Arona's going to use his strength. Is Arona getting tired? Because that was just an outrageous escape from the bottom.
Yeah, but I saw Dan doing this many times, and even when people are like in the beginning of the fight, Dan is just that good of an escape artist.
Yeah, he's a regular Houdini in there.
Ah, there you go again. Take the words right out of my mouth.
I got you that time. But there's been many times when you took the words right out of my mouth, or you said it before I even thought of it. So.
Yeah, this is going to go into the second round. That's pretty much sure. I never want to say sure anymore. Now Dan tried that crossface, like he said, on Arona, but he didn't continue doing it. He's going to try the neck.
He's going to try a can opener neck crack here, but Arona's not going to go for that. He's going to go. Oh, he opened up that guard, and Henderson dropped the right hand to the body. Oh, yes. Look at it. First round.
He looks in a good shape. Look at that. Wow.
Yeah, Arona he hasn't even gone back to the right corner yet. And now he's going back to his own corner. You know, is Arona starting to get out of gas? Because if he is, and look at that man, Kazushi Sakuraba, he is commentating for the Japanese broadcast. One of the true legends, one of the greatest fighters in the history of mixed martial arts. The submission master, Kazushi Sakuraba, one of our favorites. I'll tell you what, this fight has been every bit as exciting as we expected it. It has been technical. It has had a lot of heart. Dan Henderson came out and was owning the stand-up, and then he was down on the ground. Arona was ahead, he got reversed. Henderson has been the guy with the reversals, so here we are.
That's the takedown, I think. Let me see.
And Arona...
Yeah, it's going to be the takedown. Nice.
That was so sweet. Dan Henderson in the side mount here, starting to, you know, look, he's got that hip position. He drops those top knees. Oh, look at that punching. And Arona squirming, trying to get out at all costs. And Dan trying for that can opener to get the guard open, and then dropping the right hand. And then that was on the jaw. I thought it was a body shot.
It was a beautiful thing that he did. He did the can opener, then he let him go, and while his head span backwards, he gave him that left hook to the head, and then that right hand after that. It was a perfect combination. He trained for that.
And he looks like he's ready and fresh to go another 3 10-minute rounds. Of course, the next 2 rounds are 5 minutes each, if it goes to that. I don't know, man. I know that Arona wants this fight on the deck, but it's going to be harder and harder for him to get Dan Henderson, the wrestler, down as the fight progresses. If you look at each man's physique, Arona is muscled up, and sometimes people who are muscled up like that get tired.
Yep, you're absolutely right. More muscles needs more energy, more blood.
More oxygen.
More oxygen.
Right.
No combination inside that blood. So, hey, round number 2.
Okay.
Now, first round we can't say. We would say a draw, but in the Pride Fighting Championships, they don't count by rounds. They count the whole fight. So who's the strongest at the end of the fight is the guy who's going to win. That's also a big factor, a major factor right here.
Okay, expect the kicks from Arona, expect that right hand from Henderson. But Henderson's been throwing more than just the right hand. He's been throwing the left hand. Oh, a kick by Henderson. You gotta love that. And Henderson checks that right low kick by Arona. Arona, oh, Henderson with the right hand! And look at that takedown, boss.
That was a beautiful takedown, and it was because he hit him one time with the right hand, and then he got a little bit too much aggressive, came in for another one, and that was the perfect moment for Arona to take him down.
Yeah, I think that Arona's got about 10 pounds on Henderson in this fight. He came in right around 205 pounds. Henderson is about 195. But you know, Henderson is in that weird no man's land to where he could drop down and fight at 185 if, that's a big if, the Pride Fighting Championships created a third weight division. That would be kind of cool because we've got Sakuraba, Pele, Carlos Newton, all right around 185 pounds. That's like maybe a weight division in the future. Who knows? But in this fight, Henderson is so competitive.
And look at this. Did you see that? He locked his hand up with his knee. I never saw that. Yeah, this is the position that Arona is going to take a break right now. But they're going to restart it if nothing happens.
Yeah, it's been a slowdown, and that sometimes can be indicative of one or both of the fighters' conditioning. Now, Arona, not only did we talk about Vitor Belfort and that little reality show in Brazil, but he also talked about future opponents. And he said if he beats Dan Henderson, he wants a shot at Vanderlei Silva for the middle. Oh, up kick by Henderson. And it didn't land completely, but it did land. And look at him blocking that kick.
He's doing a good job. He's kicking back. He's got to see if he can get up. That's a good low kick right there. Yeah, the kicks of Arona are good. He's got solid kicks.
He's been training with Luis Alves and dropping the right hand. Arona chopping away, missing there. What I was going to say is that Arona would love to challenge Vanderlei Silva for his middleweight title, but there's another gentleman, and this gentleman may be on the hit list of many Brazilian fighters. Alex Stiebling came up in the conversation, and Arona was reserved and respectful until I mentioned hot blood, and then he said he really wants to fight him, and he didn't like the Brazilian Killer t-shirt that Stiebling wore in the last Pride show when he beat Walid Ismail.
Yeah, every Brazilian fighter that we talked to said the same thing.
Well, I think the whole country of Brazil took offense to that t-shirt. As a matter of fact, that's what the fighter said.
Yeah, he better not take a nice vacation in Brazil. I don't think that would be a good idea for Alex Stiebling.
Okay, nice, very good, restart.
Love it.
And we're coming down to close to a minute left in the round. And Arona's got to get this fight in the ground again. Henderson has been the better fighter, standing up stiff left jab, and Henderson getting an underhook and a
He's
strong.
got a front choke.
He's got the front guillotine, shot to the knee. And
Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, but he's got the guillotine. He's got the guillotine. But Arona's going to have to use a lot of energy to pull out of that. If Arona, he pulled out. Wow. Man.
Yeah, see, against a guy like Arona, I would not waste energy on that.
He didn't really waste that much energy on it, though. He pulled it. Wait, what happened?
He's got a cut.
He's got a cut.
Wow. Okay, now yeah, this is of course in the Pride Fighting Championship that they're going to expect right away, inspect that cut right there, and then let's see if they're going to restart it. Let's hope it's just a little cut, because it always looks worse than that it is.
Yeah, it's to the side of the eye, and they should be able to stop the cut and restart. Boy, I sure would like to see this fight go on because it's been so competitive now. Let's see where that cut happened, and there was the right hand, and then they lock up here, and Dan going for the guillotine. Oh, good. Here we go. Excellent, excellent. And they're going to restart back. Henderson on the bottom in the guard. Doctor inspected Arona, found that he was not injured, was ready to continue. It was not a bad cut, but they want to be sure. They're not just going to let this go into some crazy barroom brawl. I mean, we have a real good staff of physicians here at ringside to protect the fighters. And Arona chopping with the right hand, and Arona gets side mount. Arona all fired up after that inspection, but Dan firing the knees away from the bottom.
That's a good knee, but still there is not a real impact in the knees because his arm is in the way. Arona's arm is in the way. But this is a good position for Arona to be in.
Mounted position.
30 seconds. What can happen in 30 seconds? Dan Henderson needs a reversal here.
I think Henderson is not in danger of being finished here. But Arona has landed a good deal of shots here on the ground and seems to have been almost the better man in this round. What are your thoughts, Boss?
Yeah, I think the same thing. There are two things that Henderson can do. He can, of course, wait and rest like he did now, or try to reverse it and see if he can convince the jury that he's still got a lot of energy. But he will probably save it till the end. Now, Arona, I see here from ringside what you guys didn't see. He stumbled to his stool. So he looks tired. But it's quite a logic.
Well, let's hope they got a good cut man in that corner because they don't want the cut to be a factor. And right now it's not a factor. Henderson standing in his corner. Now, here we go. Henderson chopping. Oh, that right hand landed right on the chin, and trying to figure out where the cut happened. But a good takedown. But you know, Dan does land that right hand, and
that was a beautiful right hand.
And Arona turned his head a little bit. If he didn't, boy, he would have been in big trouble.
Yeah, it was a beautiful takedown from Arona also.
Yeah, Arona really knows his game. He knows his strength. use the kicks to set up a diversion and go for the takedown. Although we saw Dan avoid a takedown, at least momentarily, early in that fight before they got into that punching exchange that we just saw.
Okay, here Arona's looking fresh again.
He does look fresh.
Yeah. He had the same thing you remember with when he fought Guy Metzger. His last round was also better than the previous round. So,
well, I'll tell you one thing, he's going to need it because Dan Henderson, as I said before, he's stronger at the end of the fight.
yeah.
Especially with his punches. Like when he had Murillo Ninja in trouble, but Murillo didn't go, so that's a big accolade to the survivability of Hua, you know, because Murillo took some shots in that fight. But I think about halfway through this round, if I were Henderson's corner and they're standing, I would say unleash a combination. Just start unleashing a barrage of punches.
Yeah, but still watch out a little bit because when he did it in round number 2, he got taken down with it. So he's got to pick him. He doesn't want to come in too uncontrolled.
Man, what a fight this has been.
Longest fight of the night.
Yeah. Oh, good low kick in. Wow, Arona landed a good shot there, and Dan finally getting the underhooks, and Arona has got a real aggressive takedown. He always gets Dan down. Dan cannot block the takedown.
It's a lot of power.
Yeah.
It's a lot of physical power he has.
And do you think that, I mentioned earlier that Dan can make 185 pounds. I don't know that Arona could. Do you think that the weight here is the factor in the takedowns?
Yes, I think for sure. Strength, also, yeah, with weight, most of the time also strength counts. And apparently what we're seeing right now, he's got the stamina to back it up. So he's got the whole package here. Dan really has got to go to work right now.
Well, Dan is not really in a position to go to work because Arona is off top. Now, if strength and weight be a real big criteria, look at this.
A little rolling around.
Rolling, rawhide. Okay, that was interesting.
Yeah.
That's, they say when you grapple, hey, you want to roll? Well, they literally rolled.
That's a good one, Mr. Quadros.
Oh, yeah. Keep on.
Whoop, mount position.
Mount
but
position. That's right.
That's the position that Dan every time escaped from, and then reverse the whole situation. Let's see if he can do it again now.
But Dan almost in danger of eating some punches there. Arona establishing a good hand base there. Dan's got to get busy. He's got to get back to his feet, and he's got to deliver some punches. Oh, look at this. Henderson turning his back momentarily, got the headlock.
Yeah, that's the way he turned him. You remember in round number 2, but then Arona took over again. But he did it, so maybe he can pull it up the wall. No.
Bad position for Dan Henderson. Bad position. He's got Arona on his back, and this is where we said underneath. Oh, no. Oh, no. Dan has got to turn. Dan's going to get choked out.
No, it's not under there.
Oh, no. Man.
Whoa, it would have been the first time, by the way. So it was kind of, but it was close.
Dan Henderson only has one loss, and that was a decision to Vanderlei Silva. He's never tapped out in mixed martial art competition. I don't know. Wow.
How many fights did he have? A bunch.
You're asking me in
The fight
don't know.
professor, yeah.
Oh, you want me to add them up? Okay, let me count them for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is his 12th fight, boss.
Thank you very much. That's what I wanted to know.
Okay.
Yeah, Dan really got to work. It's about 2 minutes. He's got about 2 minutes left.
Anyway, what year did Dan Henderson start his fighting career?
Oh, I really don't know. You're the fight professor. You're asking me here.
Well, it was 1997, wasn't it? Or actually, anyway.
What day?
It was, actually, it was June 15th.
And why?
Because he was going to take the next step from his wrestling career. Next question.
Okay, oh, we got to watch out now here for armbar. Oh.
Arona is in control here. 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left, Basito.
Yes, sir. This is not looking good for Dan. If he wants to act, if he wants to do something, he's got to do it now.
This will be a huge win for Ricardo Arona. Ricardo.
Whoa, look at the inside of Dan Henderson's leg from the low kick.
Yeah. Yeah. Henderson's got to get this fight back up. He really does. And in order to prevent that, Ricardo Arona has got to stay busy. If he slows down and if he started standing, it's not going to be good for Arona because how much energy has he spent out, okay?
There, maybe. No. Yeah, it's true what you said. I see Arona every time coming up a little bit, scooting up. It looks like almost he wants to go for a straight armbar. When he cross faces and he sits up higher, God knows he's going to go for it. You see here, this would like the position now.
Is Dan setting him a trap though so he can get out of the mount?
Yep, that's a trick I used to use actually, even in Pancras.
1 minute left, and it doesn't look good for Henderson right now. Oh, he missed it! He hit the floor there, but he didn't hit the floor then.
And he right, left hand to the head from Arona. Yeah, Arona can push out and try to go for an armbar. I mean, let's see if he can finish the fight with a submission. But he thinks probably now, you know what, I've got this fight now in the bag because I was in domination the last round. Yeah, then trying everything more. 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds left, and Henderson has not been able to solve the mount problem that Arona has been presenting to him for the last 4 minutes of this fight. And Arona chopping away. It appears that Arona has done enough to win this fight. Oh, now Arona, you just don't want a fight like this to end.
No, but Arona played a real good, real smart, technical game.
He really did. It appears to me that Ricardo Arona has snatched the victory by getting stronger as the fight progressed.
Yeah, this is it's crazy. He still looks very fresh. Like I said, in the end of round 2, when he stumbled to his corner and then he recouped like in the 2 minutes. He was totally back.
Look at this. He was going for the choke, and Henderson had to fight so hard to get out. He just about had it. Oh. That must have really frustrated Arona that Dan got out of this. Oh, man.
That was very close.
Yes, it was.
This was a beautiful fight. We saw it all.
An exceptional grappling-oriented match. We saw reversals, and we saw Arona in control at the end. Let's go up to the judges and find out what they think, because that's the important thing. Ricardo Arona has won a split decision. It was 2 judges for him and 1 for Henderson.